Hey everybody, this is Eric Worre. Welcome to NetworkMarketingPro.com. And I'm here with Margie Aliprandi.
Indeed.
Margie, how are you?
Hi.
This woman is a powerhouse. She's $1 million a year earner. She's been with one company her whole life.
Well, not my whole life.
Well,
but
practically.
my whole network marketing life.
Yes, your whole network marketing life. And she looks really, really young, but she's actually been around this profession for a long time. And talk to everybody, Margie. Where do you live now?
San Diego and Salt Lake City.
San Diego and Salt Lake City, so you kind of get to live wherever you feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So Salt Lake City for business, probably?
Yeah, back and forth.
And San
then
Diego,
a lot of business travel.
And a lot of business travel. Prior to network marketing, what was your story?
Junior high school music teacher.
Really?
Yes, junior high school. Where
So it's those really
music
bad
class.
bands?
No.
When they did the
Singing.
little orchestra?
Singing.
Oh, okay.
Really bad tone deaf kids.
Really bad tone deaf kids.
Yeah.
Junior high.
Junior high school.
Choir?
Choir.
Oh,
yes,
wow.
and general music in one English class.
Wow. So you
Yeah.
taught people general music.
Yeah, music in general and also singing.
Can you sing?
I can sing.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Unprovoked. Even without a glass of wine.
We might have to do a song.
Might have to.
So you did this for how long?
Well, I taught school for a year and then got married, started having a family, stayed home with the family. And then when I found myself single, I was just weighing my options. I did not want to go back to teaching school. My kids were 5, 4, and 2.
Right.
I didn't want to leave them at home.
So three kids, and then you kind of had a
yeah,
split.
a hiatus. And I was doing during that time a little bit of commercials, a little bit of voice work. And so it was intermittent income, nothing consistent.
Right.
Wouldn't pay a house payment consistently.
Right. So when did you get introduced to network marketing?
It was right at that crossroads. I had just signed a teaching contract knowing I needed to go back and do something
Give me a year.
consistent. The year 1989.
89.
1989.
So I got involved in 1988. So same era.
Same genre, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You look better than I do.
No, you look good.
Stop it.
No, you look really good.
So 1989.
1989.
You get introduced, and what was the pitch? What did somebody say to you? Now we don't talk about company names
No,
or
exactly.
products or anything.
No, exactly.
But you know, what sparked your interest?
It was a voice message on my answering machine, actually to the guy I was dating at the time, saying, "We've got this really incredible product, and wonder if you want to take a look." And he was about to delete it, but they had said what that product was, and I'm like, "Don't delete that. Don't delete that." So we started conversations. It ended out being a product that we took to a company. And it was the product I fell in love with. That I knew I could talk to anyone, anywhere, anytime about that product. And I canceled the teaching contract.
So you canceled teaching, and you decided you're going to go. Now,
Yeah.
did you go like full time from day one?
Berserk from day one.
Berserk.
Yeah, full out.
Really?
Full out. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, both because I know you talk about, sometimes you're driven by desperation, sometimes you're driven by inspiration. My back was against the wall, but that can't push me. I was driven by inspiration. Like I fully believed that every home in America was going to own this little product and that me and my team were going to sell it and we were like going to create multimillionaires all over the place.
Really?
And that
so you
drew
saw
me.
you
The
saw a
vision.
big vision right away.
The vision.
Now, why do you think some people don't see a huge vision like that right away? It takes them a while. Other people see it right away. Have you ever looked at that?
Yeah. I think it's sometimes, and honestly, I could really, in terms of money, I could really only see, I want to make my house payment.
Right.
I could see that far, and then it's like, whoa, and then the money started coming. But the vision of what was possible was what got me. And I think sometimes people don't make a connection between a sense of possibility and the business vehicle. When they do, that creates an engine that is just unstoppable.
Okay. So talk about that first year. Your first 90 days. What happened?
It was 3 little kids, no
Right.
previous experience, no money, right? But the good thing I had going for me is that I made that whatever it takes decision, like just undaunted. And so what it meant, I lived in Utah at the time, if I had team members in California that said, come to a meeting with us, I would just jump in my car and drive. No big deal. And then when I got there, I couldn't really afford hotels, so I would sleep in hotel parking lots. And
you did. You slept in your car.
Yes, I did, because in the beginning, And then in the morning I would go to a gas station with my electric curlers and put my makeup on, get dressed, and then go into these meetings. And
Wow.
sometimes, 7 people, I'd been promised 50, one joins,
Yeah.
the numbers, right?
I do.
But
So
just
after,
undaunted.
so you're going to talk to whoever you can, right?
Yes, this product was kind of one that you could strike up a conversation with anyone, anywhere, very
Yeah.
easily.
A lot of network marketing products fit that description. Yes.
Yes, for sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
So in your first 90 days, like how many people did you recruit? Any idea? Can you remember?
Oh man, it's hard to remember.
About?
Yeah, dozens upon dozens. I mean,
Couple dozen?
Probably more than that.
Okay.
Maybe 50.
50 people.
Yeah, and then really building the depth, really building their
And then
teams.
working with that group.
A lot of face-to-face home meetings every night.
Just
sometimes
getting better
2 and
every
3.
day, just figuring out
Yeah.
what you need to do. You
Exactly.
just were lit up on fire.
Machine. Yeah.
Yeah. So a young girl
Yeah.
going out there.
Comparatively so, right?
Yes. No, I mean,
Yeah.
seriously, a young,
Well, a single
a
mom
single
also
mom
with all of those
with 3
like,
kids,
Yeah.
just saying, I'm not going to accept any excuses.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go do it.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to depend on a man to take care of me.
Right.
I'm going to do it myself. Was that
Right.
important to you?
It was, yeah, the independence. Yeah, one of
Because
the
sometimes you see people in all different sides of equations. As soon as they are out of a relationship, they got to find the next one because that's going to
the security, they had to have
solve
that
the need.
security.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's their search. It's not a search for a business.
Yeah, the search
It's a
was the
search
independence.
for-
The search
for
was
the
the
security
independence
thing.
and the passion.
Yeah.
I found a great deal of passion and it lit me up,
Huh.
which felt good.
Okay. So first year,
First year,
like,
within 1 year.
how much did you make?
So
About?
I was making within 1 year more than I could have made. Within a year, I was making more in a month than I could have made in an entire teaching school.
So give me a first full year
20,
income
25, first year, the whole year?
total. Yeah.
Oh, 187,000, something like that.
So $187,000 first year.
Yeah.
Just deciding, just from a decision, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was a decision.
Yeah.
An unequivocal, non-negotiable decision.
And
is
how
what it
and how
was.
many learning experiences did you have in that first year?
So many. So
Gotta be
many.
hundreds.
Yeah.
And just learn every day, make
And-
adjustments
and
every day,
yes,
make adjustments
hone it
every
a
day,
little
make
bit better.
adjustments. What do you think was the secret to that first year's success, 187,000? If you could pick anything.
Resilience, emotional resilience.
What do
Not
you,
letting.
you had to bounce back from what?
Yeah. Well, we were a young company, and so there were a lot of 3 steps forward and 5 steps back, and attrition, high attrition during some of that time, due to no real fault of anybody, just the newness of the company at the time. So a lot of pioneering, and I think the thing that really helps is that big vision of what's possible, right? When that's really strong, I mean, even my why, like I'm going to give these kids a better life. That was huge. But once again, that almost comes from that place of desperation for me, like, oh, I got to make ends meet.
Got to.
I got it. But that vision, when you really get a sense, and once you get a taste of passive income, you can't be without it.
Right.
Right.
A lot of people talk about, hey, I'm going to work for a few years like other people won't, so I'll have for a lifetime what other people
Right,
can't.
yeah.
I hear all that story all the time.
Yeah. Right.
But entrepreneurs don't work for a few years and then stop.
No.
That's not how they're driven. They're entrepreneurs are entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
They're growing something, building something. They're passion driven. Why would you retire from your passion?
No,
Doesn't make any
exactly.
sense. Go to the
And
beach
your
and
way
go
to-
away from your passion.
And it's your
Doesn't
way
make
to
any sense.
contribute, right?
Right.
yeah.
You're contributing to the world. Over the course, you've been involved now for what?
28 years.
28 years.
Yeah. Yeah, with the only time that I actually took a little time off, and this is a cool residual income story. So this is about 2.5 years into the business, and I got married again and had my 4th child, who is now 24 and full-time in the business with me.
Fun.
How crazy is that? But during that time, because of my previous efforts, the check never fell below $15,000 a month. I mean, it was higher at some points, but it never fell lower than $15,000 in 1992. And so you're gripped, right? Like, wow, this works. This
Yep.
passive income thing is real. But yes, other than that, pretty much full time, off and on, taking times of more leisure, but really full out right now.
Yeah. I want to explore something with you that's a little bit different because you've been with a company for 28 years. Okay. And inside of network marketing, there's a couple different phenomenon that happen.
Yeah.
One phenomenon is when the going get tough, the tough leave, or people just leave.
Yeah.
Not the tough would stay, but
Yeah.
when the going gets tough, everybody goes, well, this other company looks like they got a lot of momentum.
Right.
And we got all these challenges right now.
Yeah.
I'll just go over there. That looks fun. You get familiarity. You get used to your company.
The grass is greener, right?
Grass is greener. What caused you to never succumb to somebody telling you some fancy story or luring you over to some other company?
It's such a good question because being prepared to go the distance is really where the wealth will come from. And every company has its challenges, right? It's just choosing the one that you want to have the challenges with. I think that I believed with all my heart that we had the foundational elements that were needed. I could see from that time I took off that the products sold without me promoting them and without even any business building happening. It was it was the dark ages, I gotta say, in our company.
Of course.
But the fact that it stayed that strong told me something. And then I really liked our compensation plan. And I looked around, I knew there were certain compensation plans I would never do. But I don't know where else I'd go. I'm not gonna go to a startup. And
You've been through that.
And then the people, right? There were people that put their hand up and said yes. And I just wanted to go the distance with them. I don't know. It was probably a lot of things.
How did you deal with it when you had leaders leave and go to other companies?
Yeah, hard because it feels like a divorce. It feels like wish them well, and some of them came back. Interestingly, because the grass isn't always greener,
Right.
and at some point you develop, not that you don't care, but you develop a little bit of a thick skin.
Yeah.
This is going to sound kind of rude, but it's almost like there needs to be a weeding out sometimes. If you're trying to create a specific culture, not everyone's your culture. And if there are certain things that you are, there are things you're not also. And so sometimes when people leave, they define themselves.
Yep.
Is that rude?
No, not at all. It's necessary sometimes.
Like if they're a jumper,
Yeah.
they're not my people.
Right. So it's important because I can make a case for startups. There's a certain kind of person that can succeed there. I can make a case for an early stage company.
Because some of them will make it,
I can
right?
make a case for $1 billion company. I can make a case for every single side.
Me too.
And everybody does. They just say, well, this is the best situation. Well, this is the best situation.
Yeah.
So you got to decide. But one thing I have noticed is that not every time a person joins a company, that's going to be the only company they're ever going to be with.
Almost never.
But when it happens, it's wonderful. Not every time, but you have to find a balance between that and bouncing from deal to deal to deal to deal to deal to deal to deal, because it's like
You lose your credibility.
well,
so
somebody
quickly.
plant their garden, and then they rip it up before it has a chance to kick out any fruit.
Yeah.
And then they plant it someplace else, and then they rip it up. And by the time they get to the fourth garden, they just got tatters. They hardly have anything left.
Yeah.
And then
Credibility.
they're wondering. Then they say, "Well, this doesn't work."
Yeah.
Okay, so sometimes people get their hearts broken. A company goes out of business, or something happens.
Yeah.
And they find themselves in a situation where they have to find a new
Exactly.
home. That happens.
Yeah.
But make sure people aren't jumpers, because I have noticed the big wealth is people who are long-termers.
Who go the distance.
Yeah.
Make a decision.
Big wealth.
Yeah.
Like the kind of income you've earned, the kind of income like a Jeff Bertie's. He's at $100 million in commissions now.
Right.
And he's in his 50s. $100 million in commissions because he stayed. And he went through that. Now, a lot of people get really bummed out and freaked out, and they stop working, and they complain and they groan and they mumble when a company goes through a compensation plan change. You've gone through how many?
5.
5 different compensation plans inside
Yeah.
the same company.
Yeah.
Has the company's name changed?
3 times.
The company's name has changed 3 times.
Yeah, we're on the 3rd.
And the compensation plan has changed 5 times.
And the ownership 3.
The ownership has changed 3 times.
I know.
So.
Do you want to say I'm certifiable?
No. That's called real life.
Yeah.
After 30 years.
Yeah.
That's called real life. That I saw on CNBC, they said 40% of the S&P 500 will not exist in 5 years.
Seriously.
40% of the top 500 companies in the world won't exist. They'll be merged, they'll be gone.
Yeah.
Technology will wipe them out, or they'll be acquired, or something else will happen in the next 5 years. That's called life. So if you're going to be a big girl, you're going to be a big guy, you got to
put your big girl panties on.
Exactly. And just decide that when change comes, and it will come, you're going to be better at navigating change than anybody else.
Yeah.
Because in those changes, I can bet you.
There's always a gift.
Well, there's a winners and losers. Every time, the same change, some people lost major momentum, some people stepped forward and got bigger market share. Mm-hmm. And they got better, they got stronger, they got wiser, they got whatever.
And attracted.
How did you learn how to deal with that amount of change?
I think that you realize very quickly that to remain relevant, there has to be change. Mm-hmm. Things do change quickly in our world, and so
look at technology today.
It's shifting everything, really, truly. We just introduced a brand new system that's almost entirely based on Facebook, and so it's like, get on board or you'll be left behind. And so I recognize the need for being nimble and agile and being able to make a move when you need to. So
some people get dogmatic on something they did that worked 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And they're not willing to adjust.
Yeah. So I just think it's because it always makes sense to me.
Like if your company changed their comp plan tomorrow, and I know I don't want it to, but let's say it did. How would you navigate that?
Well, we're still doing a couple of tweaks, right? Because we just relaunched about 3 years ago. So,
how do you navigate that? How do you get through it?
I would see that, first of all, I feel like I'm in a collaborative role, so I feel like I have a say.
Sure.
But I'd get on board. I'd see the gift in it. I'd figure out the angle that
see
this
the gift
makes
in the
more.
change.
Yeah,
That's
this
a great,
makes more
great
sense
comment.
for everyone.
See the gift in the change.
Yeah.
Whatever the change is, there's a gift.
Always.
You just have to find
Always.
it.
And when you are the person that's looking for that positive, now I'm not talking being a Pollyanna and not seeing reality, but there's always a way to look at things that it's like, whoa, this is a win, and then being that person that sees it.
You talk about kind of controlling the meaning that you give to whatever thing happens.
Because don't we all, right?
Yes.
Every day.
Yeah.
In everything.
Love that. So, what has made you're now? What's your best year? What's your best year in network marketing? How much did you earn?
$1.2 million.
$1.2 million. So you've just been consistent, steady for a long time. So and over the course of your career, it's been how much?
$20 million.
$20 million.
Yeah.
$20 million.
School teacher.
School teacher. Teaching choir.
Yeah.
$20 million later.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable. Good for you.
Thanks.
That's fun. It means you pay a lot of taxes.
Yes, it means I paid
That's okay.
my fair share.
Fair share. Well, plus
No.
You built a lot of roads.
Seriously, the tax benefits of our business is a reason to do it enough.
Of course.
Right?
Sure. So $20 million. What are the things, if you can name 3 things that the average person doesn't do that you do, or how the average person doesn't think how you think? Because there's a lot of people who came and gone. There's people who are still in your business the same distance as you were, but didn't earn $20 million. Mm-hmm. So what did you do or think or?
I got it.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Get it.
So massive action. I am such a believer in giving yourself that season of massive action. I look at the first year of my business. I'm still 28 years later being paid on stuff I did in that year. But it wasn't because I meandered along and did a little bit here and worked and did my 2 a day, which I am a fan of the 2 a day. If everyone would really do that, everyone would be millionaires. But I went so full out that it gave me that traction. And first of all, I got better, I got more confident, I had people that had results, and so everything just happened faster. So I think the massive action, and I've given myself seasons of massive action throughout the entire 28 years. And then
how many do you think?
10?
Really? Yeah.
10?
Yeah,
Maybe
10's a big number.
Full out.
Yeah.
Full out.
For how long?
Like, sometimes a year.
Wow.
Sometimes 90 days.
Wow. But a year.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, and at that full pedal to the metal, that's not something you can sustain for a long, long time.
And sometimes, I bet you did those right in the middle of change.
Yes.
As part of the change.
Yes.
You made up for the
show
distraction.
that it could work. We can prove this can work.
You made up for the distraction by massive action.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
At least 8. And
Yeah.
maybe 10.
No. I've done maybe 6 total career long, and the absolute top of the top in our profession have done 1 a year, but that's hard.
Yeah,
that's hard to do because it's so
years.
much.
It takes so much from you.
Yeah.
You can't sustain it.
But you'll never make more money. You take those season.
Yep.
You take the rest of the 28 years.
Yep.
And that season versus the rest, it's 90% of your income came from
exactly
that season.
Right. It's
the
exactly
rest
right.
of it was just support and hanging out.
Yeah. So that would be the do piece, and then I think that people are just so quick to pull the plug. You said it a minute ago. They plant and then they pull up their roots. They plant and then they pull up their roots. And I think that the way that I think is I really do know that there is a sowing season and a reaping season, and they're not in the same season. I know that. I've experienced it by planting seeds, tons of them, and then having, a giant business occurring in Eurasia that I never would have dreamt was going to happen. So you never know where it's going to come from, right? But when you've lived it a few times, that belief that that your job is to keep moving and planting, and if you do, the harvest comes. When you know that, you just behave differently. You can go without seeing a result. People can fall away. It's all good. It's all good.
Not everybody's going to be successful.
Yeah.
And that's not your responsibility.
That's exactly right.
You're going to give everybody a chance. And
right,
let them
and
find
love
their way.
them, and do your best to push them and pull them, and then just finally let them
be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Question I love to ask, just because I think it's interesting to see the struggle part of our business sometimes for the belief, the brand new person, whoever's watching this.
Yeah.
Think of a bad day. Go back in the last 25 years, whatever, 28 years. Think of like the worst day.
In 25 years?
And just something has to come
Or something
to mind.
recent. I have several come to mind.
Just
saying.
If it's 1 or 2,
Okay.
what I'd like to hear is what happened.
Okay.
And then what did you do about it?
So, a couple, and they were early, and there
Sure,
have
of
even
course,
been
of
some
course,
recent, right? There's been
of
some
course.
recent ones. But the first time that the company, first of all, the product that we loved, it was actually a nail gel product. It doesn't exist anymore, so I can actually say it.
Yeah, sure.
There's no competition. It was a nail gel product. We don't sell it anymore. But it started, it created one ingredient, because we brought the product in from this guy that introduced it to us. It had a little irritation factor. So I actually had diamonds, and their fingers started getting broken out a little bit.
Infected?
Yeah, they were hiding their hands in meetings. It was horrible because it was our flagship product and we'd build everything around it, right? So, tuck and weave. We got to bring in some other products. We got to take that one off. You got to reformulate that one. But it's just that ability to move,
quick.
to adapt when you need to.
Adapt quick and take big action.
Yep. The next one was when the company changed its name the first time. They also made everybody sign a new application for some personal legal reasons for themselves. And what happened is that my team went from 20,000 to 10, only 10. We're going to come back again. It was just it was enough of a challenging time. And it's just whoa, I almost feel like I'm starting from scratch. Really, in those first few years, almost from scratch a few times, because it was pioneering.
And what did you do about it?
I kept moving.
Yeah.
I just kept moving.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Give me a recent one.
So a recent one, I remember this day. So there are a few people that, kind of my main people that I'm running with right now, and invest a little in them personally, and then another guy that's opening a whole new market for us, and in a single day, I heard, and I was someplace foreign, I can't remember, I could do nothing about it, that this one was leaving, that this one was not going to show up at an event. They were really planning on him being there, and it was just it was that feeling of
Everybody's letting you down.
betrayal. betrayal. Like,
Yes.
oh my gosh, is my judgment that poor at this stage? And yeah, it was a really rough day. And what did I do with it? I set it aside and focused on what I had to do in the moment, because I knew I'd get the story, and right then I had only conjecture and only a little information from a few people. I had the real story, so I couldn't manage it at that point anyway. So I just sort of drove on at the time and waited until I could get the full story, because I can manage anything when I know what's real,
Right.
when I know what's true. But
Yeah.
it played it. Oh man,
How long?
I went places in my head that were very frustrating.
How long did it bother you?
4 hours.
Yeah. That's long. I want everybody
That was
to
long.
understand.
I
understand.
grappled with this.
Some people, that'll knock them out of the business. Some people, it'll knock them out for 6 months. Some people will knock them out for 3 months. Some people knock them out for a month. Some people it's a week. Some people it's a day. For a leader, it's 4 hours,
Feel
and
that
that's a big
agonizing,
one.
Agonizing.
And a lot of these you'll release in 5 minutes.
Oh yeah,
You know,
Oh,
you'll be
yeah.
upset for a minute, and then 5 minutes later you forgot it.
got this. Yeah.
But a 4-hour one, that's like
yeah.
a big one.
Yeah.
You know, and that's different than the average person. They'll let something bother them for a year. You know,
Maybe.
they'll just keep replaying it. It'll become part of their story. They'll tell everybody about it.
Yeah.
You know, it becomes part of every cocktail conversation at everything. They just won't stop.
Yeah,
right?
no, I got it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Who wants
just
it?
like, nope.
You don't even want it to come out of your mouth one time.
Yeah.
Because then you give more life to it, right?
Right.
Like, no,
That's
I mean,
awesome.
it was, and part of it was happening in my daughter's team, and I thought, I'm not even telling her. I'm not telling her. And I guess that also made me feel like, we got to get this worked out.
Yeah, 'cause
because
it's
I take more
personal.
responsibility
Sure, it's
for her
personal.
than even my own self. So.
Nice. Well, you know this audience, right?
Yeah.
You know, the Network Marketing Pro audience.
Oh,
These people
God.
want this bad.
Yeah.
You know, they
yeah.
want what you have. This is you're an example of the dream. You're the fairy tale. You're the princess who has the castle and the whole thing. So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to look into that camera right over there, and just have a conversation with them, just face to face, and just offer them some advice. Whatever you'd want to say to them. If you're sitting in the living room with them and they're just
Okay.
wondering, hey, is this for me? Is this for real?
Yeah.
What would you have to say to them?
Well, first of all, it is for real. And I guess if it was just you and me sitting across the table from each other, I would say you're enough. You have what it takes without learning one more thing. The biggest gap that's probably happening is you're not putting in enough action. Because if you put in the action, a lot of things happen. First of all, you just get better, faster. You develop a resilience. You get a momentum happening in your business. And if you will believe in this enough, that you're willing to begin imperfectly, willing to begin with fault rather than to hesitate perfectly. Anything worth doing well is worth doing poorly until you learn how to do it well. If you'll just be willing to start, you've got what it takes. You've got what it takes, and it is worth it. And the other thing I would say is stay in a place of service. I know every time that the business starts feeling really wonky to me, it's because I got caught up in something that I wanted. And I'm looking at a promotion. I'm so competitive. I'm really competitive. And they, dangle a promotion or, something like that. And it's just like, ooh, I can start just really getting focused on me getting that, which is not bad. Let me be sure to say that is not bad. Be very intentional and deliberate and specific about your goals. Just don't attach them to any one person. So every time that it starts feeling off and I feel disconnected from what feels good inside me, it's because I got focused on my own goal more than I got focused on serving. And so my advice on that one is fill your funnel so full with people that you are serving on a multiplicity of levels that there will always be what you need to be achieving your goals. And if you're not getting what you want, don't look to one or two people in your downline and freak out because those one or two people that you brought on aren't doing anything. Go find more. Serve. When you're really coming from a place of service, it takes fear away. And fear is what stops people more than anything. But fear disappears if you're there to serve. It's only there if you're worried about how you look, how you'll sound, will you be rejected. If you can really stay poised on that place of service, everything else falls into place.
Margie.
And don't quit.
And don't quit. Margie, Thank you. Congratulations on your success, and thank you for your contribution. I know this interview is going to be viewed by a lot of people around the world. People needed to hear it at a specific time. And if you're watching and you've got value, my suggestion to you is like it, comment, tag your team, share it with other people. Let people see this, especially those that you think would get value from it. As we share these ideas with each other, that's the idea. That's why we do this. We do this for free as a contribution, as a service to the profession that we love. Pay it forward, okay? So ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of this powerhouse woman, our wish for you is that you decide to become a network marketing professional. You decide to go pro, because it is a stone cold fact that we do have a better way. Now let's go tell the world. Everybody have a great day, have a great week, and we'll see you next time. Take care, bye-bye.